Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Now in this episode it's a really special one because I can finally give you a full tour of my 40-year-old Caravan, which I spent the last 1 year and a few months renovating and pretty much rebuilding from start to finish, just so I can go back on the road and start traveling around Europe. So come with me and let's show you the inside. Now, as you can see, immediately when you walk inside the Caravan, you can see that the roof is not that tall, and that is because this is one of the main features of this Caravan, which really got me into buying this type of model, this design of a Caravan, and that is because this thing is actually a roof pop top. So let me open it and let me show you how it works. Now, originally, this roof pop top was mounted on a gas struts, but because of the complication that come with the solar panel, which we're gonna talk about later, it had to modify the lifting mechanism, had to pretty much rebuild my own, thanks to my dad who helped me. So now, if we unlatch the, and then we're just gonna lift the whole roof like so, and the design is pretty much really simple. So I just for now have this bolt which I insert on this side here only, and this pretty much solves the thing. So now that the roof pop top is out of the way and it's lifted up, as you can see that it's now the highest point of this roof pop top is meter and 94, 95, which is pretty fine because most of the caravans, campers are around 2 meters height. So this is the highest standing point in the Caravan. If you're higher than meter and 58, because this is the highest height when the roof pop top is closed, well, you can stand up here pretty nicely and to use the kitchen, which we're gonna look at right now. Actually, one of the few features that I'm gonna show you of this roof pop top, and which I pretty much saved from the original design, was these pockets. It has nets on them. These are actually the original one. I actually wanted to have these pockets just so I can close them whenever the roof pop top is open, just if I don't want the nets to be open. As well, on this side we have a window, which if we unzip this pocket as well, you can see how bright it could get and how dirty actually the window is. But again, this, it is what it is. At least now we can see the full potential of the roof pop top. On this side as well we have another pocket with another net which we can open like so. Now I can even stop the lights and you can see how bright it is actually when the lights are off, and when the windows and the nets are open, it really brightens up the space. So this is the kitchen. I tried to save pretty much the same layout that it has originally. However, with a few tweaks, I had to retouch a few things, and especially this whole kitchen was built around the fridge and the oven that I'm gonna show you right now. So if we lift this water bottle, which I'm using for drinking water, I can show you the oven. It's a pretty simple oven. It's actually built to be used on outside. However, because it was really good price, I bought it just for the two gas tops and the inside of the oven, which runs again on LPG, propane, or gas, or whatever you call this. Originally, even in the magazine of the 1980s, it's shown that gas tops could have been let outside, and you can take everything, the sink and the gas stove, outside and just pretty much cook outside. Well, however, since I don't use the original design. That's why actually I went with this oven, because this oven, as I said, is built from the outside use. So I've built these latches just so it could be a stationary hold in place when the caravan is being towed. If we lift it up, which I'm going to do right now, I can actually unhook the gas from here because it's on a quick connection, like so. And then you pretty much can take out your oven outside, like so. And then you can cook outside with it. And using this cable and the quick connection of the Caravan, which is hooked underneath here, you can pretty much use it outside and just cook outside. So all of the smoke and all of the steam will be outside the Caravan, not inside. Yeah, this is a really nice feature that I was able to save on even with this new oven. So if we close this, on the very back we have another compartment which all of these amenities that could be hide in the back of this space, that the pretty much of the oven that was left over. On this side I have my own custom made sink. It's funny because this is not actually a sink. I had to build it my own because for these dimensions I couldn't find any sink for a camper or for a caravan or whatever that could fit this space. This tray is actually the one that you could find in the grocery markets or the grocery stores, where you can buy yourself on the hot points food for home. I just cut a hole and just added a home household drain, and now I have a sink which works perfectly. I have this sink which I purchased from AliExpress. It's a basic sink. I don't have a hot water. I'm gonna tell you more about how I'm using hot water inside, but I only use cold water. It pretty much works as it should. I have dishwater, a hand soap, a few sponges. I have down here a drawer, which is the only one that I pretty much built. I have all of the essentials. It does pretty much a good job. I don't need much. It's more than enough. This piece up here is just a hiding space, just for the space, because I couldn't fit anything because of the drains of the sink. So I just pretty much built it just to cover this hole. On this side I have an extension of the top which is a bit broken right now, but anyway, it does the job. I'm gonna fix it at later point. When you open it, you can see that it gives a bit more space on the kitchen top, because most of the time I have to use the table to cut or to left stuff because there isn't much space, but it does the job, so it's more than enough. So I'm gonna lift this down. Here on this side is pretty much the fridge. It's a Alpico fridge. It's nothing special. It's open up on this and on the other side as well. It's a 1555 60-ish liter fridge. I forgot the exact numbers. On this side I have cupboard which I've stored pretty much all of my plates, all of the cutting boards, some of the cans, pasta, a few of the leftover cleaning supplies, or if I have any veggies, I store everything inside of this cupboard. And with this actually we sum up the kitchen. On this side, as you can see, I have 3 cupboards. I'm pretty sure that the original had 2 or 3 on this side, and there is none on the other side, but I've built these 3. I did pretty much identical. On this first one, I've stored all of my cups. And yeah, pretty much this is the cups cupboard. On this side I have all my spices, some napkins that pretty much helps to stop things from moving around, flour, tea, etc. On this side, I have all of the things that, for example, kitchen towels, a few shopping bags, my portable blender, which honestly I've been 1 month on the road and I've never actually used it, but I have one on just in case if I needed one. I have one. So let me put that back on. And on this side, on this stretch, I have just a shelf, the same thing on this side as well, just a shelf which pretty much I don't store anything of them on both sides, because whatever I've put there and I left it there and I start towing the caravan, everything falls down obviously because there is no nothing to stop them. On this side I have another cupboard with some amenities, things, electronics that needs to put away real quick. I've stored in this cupboard. Now I'm gonna show you actually the shower, or actually the wet room area. So on this side originally, and I'm gonna show you the actual video, this side we had a wardrobe, which for me personally, I'm a man, I don't need that much space, waste of space for clothes anyways. To be honest with you, I've been 30-ish day on the road and I haven't had a night where I don't use that space, so I'm pretty happy that I've built it, and I'm gonna show you how it works. So if you open up the door, you can see portable toilet, which honestly I've never used. It's only for emergency. There I have a bin. I've built this decking-ish tiles. They were already built. I just cut them in size and I've placed them on the bottom just to give this contrast. I've left the walls. This is the material that is used usually on the on your houses when you have to waterproof some places before you put a tiles on. So I just pretty much left it as the way it is. You can see I have a 12-volt light, which don't use it that often, because you can ask, well, how do you use this space? Because it's quite short. It's 158 centimeters, as I told you already. This comes the fun part. If we unlatch these latches inside, this whole top piece just falls down like so, and then you can use it standing inside. It's actually wet, so I'm not going inside, but you can stand inside. All of the nights I have shower inside, and also I use a showering curtain which I hook on each four of the sides, just so I can prevent any water from sliding on the door and going on the floor on this side. So with that, actually we finish with the bathroom area. So let's get on with the benches and this side of the caravan. So as you can see, there is plenty of space here. This is, I've pretty much saved the original layout, the original design of the caravan, with that having the table between the two benches, and this one just lift like so, and latch from there, put it between the, later I'm gonna show you how you can make up the bed. So let me, actually I'm gonna put this table aside just so I can show you what I have actually inside of the each benches. So I'm gonna lift the table on this side. So if we lift this bench up, let me just remove the pillows. It reveals the little mess that I'm still having inside of here. So this is actually my water tank. Is an 80 liters water tank. I purchased it from Amazon. It came all the way from China, obviously. The problem is that the sealant of the cap is not good at all, and I can't make it work here right now. I'm on the road. So as you can see, there is permanently one t-shirt of mine staying here just to take all of the little sips of drips of water that just go around the cap when the Caravan being towed, being moved. So yeah, that's pretty much how things are working right now. I know it looks messy, but this is what it is, what it is. On this side, I have my 12-volt water pump, which again, there is another t-shirt, and that is because this morning I had a few leaks around the pump, and I think I've solved the issue, but again, I left this t-shirt just so I can see if any leaks further. On this side, I have most of my underwear, socks, clothes, t-shirts, and etc, etc. If we lift this up, on this side as well, I have more clothes. I've stored most of my shoes inside as well, the fan, and also somewhere there is the actually the diesel heater hidden underneath all of that. So let me put that on and let's continue with the rest. Okay, so on this side, on the front, originally there was this garage boot space which was all the way built up to here, I believe so. But since I removed the outside door of this garage, there was no point or for me to use it anymore. So I pretty much closed that, and I used that as a storage space, which I mainly store my bedding, like some of my towels, etc. Most of the stuff that I couldn't fit on this bench, I've stored them on this side. On this bench, there is a design flaw which I haven't thought when I was designing the bench and actually the extension of the kitchen top. In order to lift this, I have to first lift the kitchen extension, which sometimes locks, sometimes doesn't, which helps me to lift the cover of the bench just so I could reveal all of the electronics here in my Caravan. So for battery, I'm using the EcoFlow Delta 2. This is the only power that I get, and I'm charging it only from the solar panel of the roof pop top, which I'm gonna show you later on the outside. My solar is a total of 410 watts, which is the basic solar panel that you can get for your house, but it works perfectly flawlessly with the EcoFlow Delta 2. Roughly at the perfect conditions, I'm getting around 330, 350 out of that 410 watts, so that's pretty good. And since I've left home and I've been on the road ever since, I never had an issue with the solar. It charges the battery to 100%. For the electronic system of the Caravan, I'm gonna make a separate video, so if you're interested, you can check it out when it's come out. Here on this side, I have a really special piece that my grandma sold for me. It really reminded me of back home, so I really wanted to show it in this corner of the Caravan just to reflect the space. Now I'm gonna show you actually how you can make the bed, which if you have a Caravan, you're pretty much familiar with it. If you wanna make the bed, you just lift up the leg and latch it from the wall, and then you just put it between the two benches like so. Lift the cushion. It's quite clumsy design, and then we just use the backrest cushions on the one side and the other side. Let me just throw these cushions away like so. There you have it. Most of the time it works, believe me. So on the outside, as you can see, a few things have been changed since the original video. I've added another security lock here, mainly because the garage or the boot was no longer available. I had to store somewhere else the spare tires, so I've decided to mount it on this side. I've changed the ugly LED lights on tail lights on the both side because they were quite ugly to me, and I said in the original video that I'm gonna try to restore this Caravan to its original 80s look. So this sums up the back of the Caravan. On this side we have another feature. Obviously these are a new window. I've closed the original 220 volt outlet, and I'm gonna show you the other side where I've put it that on. I've added this outlet for the water tank, which I can fill up from here. On the front of the Caravan, as you can see, there was a window originally here, and obviously it's gone because the major leaks have gone through that window. And when I saw the prices of a new window, because I wanted to replace it and to put it back on, I've just decided that I'm not gonna bother that, so I've covered that on. I've covered also the garage boot door, so it's no longer existing, as you can see. But somewhere else I have to store the gas bottle and the diesel tank for the diesel heater. So I've added, with the help of my dad, I bought this box, which is, I believe, is a truck box. And so my dad welded this custom made metal frame, which set the whole thing set on it, and it's hold up to the frame of the Caravan. And we left the top off. We can see that the inside I've stored the gas bottle, which is actually a car bottle, so I don't have to go to a special place to fill up my bottle. I can use a basic gas station, which usually use trucks and cars to fill up their gas bottles, so I'm not having issues with that. Here on this side I've stored my diesel tank for the diesel heater. I have this wrench or whatever it's called, just so I can lift or release the stabilizers of the Caravan, which I already told you that I don't use because of the ants and all of the insects that are trying to get inside the Caravan. Moving on onto this side, down here I've added this external 220 volt outlet. I just didn't want to deal with any hose of the Caravan, so that's why I've chose this type of model. The two windows were changed as well. On this side I've covered the holes where the gas fridge, this was the chimney, this was the ventilation for the original fridge inside. So I covered all of these holes, and I just covered the metal. I just glued back on the vents because they look fine and they look 80-ish. So I added this external connection for the connection of the solar, which you can actually see the solar on the top of the roof pop top. And this pretty much sums up the whole tour of my 40-year-old Caravan. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoy watching it. If you have any questions about the Caravan, about the rebuild, or any of the parts used around the Caravan, please leave them down in the comment section below and I'll try my best to answer them. If you have any other questions around the Caravan life at all, please leave them down and we will have a discussion and we will talk about it. And again, I'm gonna see you in the next video somewhere around Europe, caravan lifing, finally enjoying this whole build that I spent so much time and sweat and tears and money on it, just so I can fully travel off-grid with my car and Caravan. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.